Sure.
Hi everyone. Today we have Sarthak. He's from IIT Roorkee and he will be sharing his journey with ConnectBud today. Hi Sarthak, how are you doing? Sarthak, can you hear me? Sarthak, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I want you to tell our viewers about your schooling. From where did you do your plus two? And what is the subject of specialization that you have at IIT Roorkee?
Uh, like I did my schooling from Kanpur itself. It is called a dummy school. Like I do
Mm-hmm.
not have to go regular to the schools.
Okay.
Instead, apart from that, I also joined a coaching. Basically, the main thing was the coaching in my
Mm-hmm.
plus two, 11th and 12th. After that,
Okay.
I cleared JEE and joined IIT Roorkee. Now my stream is electrical engineering, and currently I'm in third year at
Okay.
IIT.
Okay. And would you like to talk about the year in which you wrote the G exams and what was your overall India rank and the G and main score, mains and advanced score?
Yes, yes. Sure. I did like after plus 12, I wrote the J exam in my 2017. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll pass out of IIT Roorkee at 2021. So my J
Mm-hmm.
mains and advanced score are quite similar, 252, around 252 out of
Okay.
360. And my J rank was around 1800, 1812 to be
Okay.
precise.
And tell our viewers, when did you decide that you have to appear for G exams? Which standard were you when you decided that this is what you have to do?
Yeah, after I passed 10th, my 10th. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided I have to go to a JEE coaching to get a better knowledge of physics, chemistry, and maths. So like my inspiration was not to clear JEE, but later it became my motivation as well as inspiration.
Okay.
It was like 10th standard.
Okay. So the coaching institute that you studied from, would you like to talk about it? What is that you really liked about that particular coaching institute over, any other coaching institute that are there in your city?
So in Kanpur, the things work like that. There are no like specific coaching institute like Akash and Fiji. There are,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not good as in other cities. So there
Mm-hmm.
are private coachings where there are teachers from IITs itself who teach in the name of himself. So I joined
Okay.
like physics, chemistry, and maths separately.
Hmm.
So there were like I did my chemistry under Pankaj Agrawal and Nirmal Singh, and my physics under Anant Agnihotri, and my mathematics under Abhishek Gupta. So the all four were very good and very inspirational. They taught us the concept as well as uh, gave us sheets as much as possible to practice theory exams. Apart from that, they took regular test series or tests. All the like there were competitors, my competitors too, that helped me improve myself. I did join a test series of resonance too, that a full test, you can say a full test series as similar as we expect in the
Mm-hmm.
J advanced. So that
Okay.
helped me.
Okay. And was there a qualifying exams to study under these teachers you mentioned?
No, there was not nothing like qualifying exams. You go tell I want to join your coaching. They
Yeah,
ask
they'll take.
like your background and
Mm-hmm.
some sort of interview thing, and they'll
Okay.
give you admission.
Okay. All right. And tell us how many hours were you, like, as you said, you were not going to school very often. It was a dummy school. So how many
Hmm.
hours were you spending in these coaching institute?
Like it was like weekly alternate coachings. Like I have to go for maths one day,
Mm-hmm.
and on the next day physics and chemistry to 2 to half an hour. So around 5 to 6 hours for both
Okay.
the each subject 2.5 hours.
Okay. Okay. And what was the tuition fee that you incurred for those 2 years when you in the coaching institute when you were preparing for these exams?
So it was like 25,000 for each, maybe 20,000 to around 60,000 in all.
Okay.
And
Uh,
with the test series, it became 70, like
okay.
10,000 for the test.
Okay. And tell us when you have so much to do in these 2 years that you have to qualify for an all India level exams, how are you keeping yourself stress free and, having positive energy?
It was like my studies kept me motivational. Like when
Okay.
I'd solve examples, solve questions, more and more
Mm-hmm.
questions, do the concept of the physics. It uh,
Mm-hmm.
it was like so good. There is something like when you start learning something, and if you actually can learn that thing, so it already keeps you motivated. Like if you
Okay.
solve an exam problem for maths, and
Mm.
if it gets solved, you will already get motivated. And
Okay.
also sometimes like I cannot solve or I cannot go through the problem statement, so my teachers help me motivated. Sometimes I do watch some YouTube videos for motivation.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
that's it.
Now, tell us about the strategies that you would have learned from your teachers to score good in physics, chemistry, and maths.
For the physics part, my teacher were so good that for every new chapter he comes with a very new concept. So
Mm-hmm.
I just give 2 or 3 days only to that to understand that concept. After that, I try numericals. So whenever I get a very small doubt, uh, I go to the my teacher and say, hey, sir, I'm getting like I do not, I cannot understand this. Please help me explain. So he explained. I will also like to talk about the organic chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, so Mr. Nirmal Singh taught me the organic chemistry. He's like one of the very best teacher in the Kanpur. So he makes sure that the student do not get bored, and he comes up with very new learning methodology for organic as well as inorganic chemistry. So I instead of like learning like a parrot, I did understand even the organic and inorganic chemistry. But for
Okay.
the
So,
maths, it was like concept based.
okay. And what about physics? Did they teach you any special strategies that you should kind of follow so that it becomes more interesting and scoring?
Yeah, they show me the some of the short tricks, etc. But
Mm-hmm.
instead, I will say once your concept is strong, you can made yourself a short trick. So
Okay.
they taught us the concept very beautifully.
Okay. And
And
I
I
what?
like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Sarthak.
I'm
You were
like
saying something.
I started like I feel the physics, so I felt the physics the way
Okay.
they were teaching, so that
Okay.
helped.
So it was very, taught in a very interesting way that it becomes a part of your life. Okay. Now
Yeah.
let's talk about the tips that you would have received from your teachers or which you would have, used to score better, especially in exams like G where you have to deal with negative marking. So do you have any tips for the aspiring students?
Yeah, like when you start practicing, that is the best idea. First, clear the concepts. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just give a lot of time to the concept. Once you understand the concept, it is all about the numericals. Once you start practicing numericals, you will get go through it. So just practice your numericals. Do sample papers in the similar time in less than a 3 hours. So that will help you make.
So they have to get into the practice of finishing the entire paper in 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Within
Oh,
3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours.
Okay. All right. Now, tell us about the routine that you followed as a student when you were preparing for this exam. What is the routine that you followed in a day?
Yeah, I like woke up early, around 9 or 10 because I do not have to go to school. So
Mm-hmm.
after waking up, like after half an hour, started preparing for the doing something, learning something, or maybe doing solving numericals. And up to 2 or 3, I got a lunch, and after that I have to go coaching. So around 4 to 8, I have coachings. When I came back, I do some rest, maybe half an hour or 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
and like I started studying again. That's my
Okay.
schedule. On
So
Sunday,
how
I have to
many
go to the
hours in
school.
a day did you spend, Sarthak, when you were preparing for these
Uh,
exams?
apart from coaching, maybe 6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8 hours. Okay.
Depends my mentality and mood.
Okay. All right. And did you ever felt that there's so much of stress that you're dealing with while you were preparing for when you got
Yeah,
stuck in solving something, and what did you do to, overcome it?
sure, there were certain points where you like got stuck, like think where I cannot do this. How can I do this? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to just skip that part. Uh, you just make sure that you schedule that part for a later time and do starting like when I stuck in physics, say optics. So
Mm-hmm.
I started learning inorganic or organic chemistry. So it felt me good. So
Okay.
after the time permits, and
Mm-hmm.
when my mood was okay, so I started that chapter again.
Okay. And do you have any tips or advice for aspiring student when it comes to time management, especially while preparing for these exams?
The best way to manage time is start doing by today. When you are solving any numerical or any problem, just think of
Mm-hmm.
time and
Mm-hmm.
things. Uh, there are 10 questions. How much time I do take to solve any these 10 questions, and what is the level of difficulty for these 10 questions? Whether they are hard enough or easy enough. Then have to take less time, or hard, then we have to get like more time. After that, the best way is in the last 2 months, do as much sample papers as possible, like maybe 15 or 20. I did around 20 to 25 sample papers for J Advance, as well
Okay.
as main.
So solving 20 to 25 paper in a week or in a day, what is that you're suggesting?
uh, la no, in a day, no, it is not possible in a day. Maybe
Okay, I
in
thought
the
just
last 2 months
test
I said.
series. Okay, the entire sample
Hmm,
paper,
sample paper.
those. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. Now
Like the
let's.
same schedule, following the same schedule.
Okay, and that is to practice it within 3 hours because that is what you will get in the exams, right?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay. And would you like to recommend any books in which would be really helpful for physics, chemistry, and maths for the
Hmm,
aspirant?
sure. If you are in 11th, then first start with HC Verma for physics. Maybe you should not complete the whole, but
Mm.
you can go through half of it. Uh, and in mathematics, I did RD Sharma objective,
Mm-hmm.
along with some uh, like Singage Learning. There is a publisher called Singage Learning. So I
Mm-hmm.
did mostly of that part. Apart from that, I solved like Bansal course material. They provide a very good course material for physics and maths. And
Okay.
for chemistry, my teacher provided me sufficient. Apart from this, there were Balaji publications book for inorganic and organic chemistry. So we can follow
That
that.
would help. Okay. So tell us about the list of the colleges to which you applied in order of your original preference.
Uh, I like every single guy of JL applied for first starting from the IIT Bombay, Kharagpur, after IIT Roorkee. The similar way I did too.
You did. You did
from
too.
IIT Bombay, Kanpur, then Roorkee.
Okay.
Even I know I won't get it, but I did.
Okay. Now let's talk about as you said that every student who qualified this exam, that's the criteria they follow when it comes to selecting the college. And uh, the do the student also need to keep in mind the department or the coursework that they want to take other than college?
Like, can you
Like if
repeat
you're
what?
getting computer science, in IIT Kharagpur versus getting your electrical or civil engineering and some other IIT. So what should be the main criteria, the coursework or the college for a student?
I think the coursework. It is more important that, for example, uh, in the first year I thought it was the college and the coursework, but now I realize it is like clearing JEE and going into the better college. Like all the IITs are very good, all the old IITs. So whether you are in Kanpur, Bombay, Kharagpur, nothing matters. The thing matters is you, if you are like choosing CSE, so you can't become a civil engineer in future. But if you are in if you choose civil, then you can become a software engineer. As you know how the job
Okay.
works, most of the engineers going through the software. So you should think when you are going, like if you are really interested in electrical, then you should go for electrical engineering.
Okay. Now tell us about the campus. How big is the campus, and tell us about the other facilities like library, gym, computer labs inside the college campus.
The campus is like very very beautiful. The most beautiful part of it is the main building. You
Mm-hmm.
must have seen this, the main building for IIT Roorkee. It is around, I think, 200 or 400 acres of campus. The library facilities are very good. We can go to the library from 8 a.m. morning to the 12 a.m. In the night.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, there is one separate study room, which
Mm-hmm.
is 24 into 7. You can go like anytime, whenever you want. You can uh, go to the study room. The library facilities, all the books. There are numerous number of books. You cannot count itself. So you have a
Okay.
software. There are certain softwares you can choose which books are there, and like there were many departments: electrical, uh, polymer science, GOEC, computer science, etc. So the
Mm-hmm.
campus very beautiful.
Okay. And tell us about the career service facilities at the campus.
They, for the placement perspective, there is one TPU, uh, which makes sure that around many very large amount of companies came for the placement and the internships.
Mm-hmm.
That is like in every tier one college, I think. Apart from that, there is one TIETS incorporation uh, which helps you to grow your startup if you are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And there are research facilities too. The professors motivate you to do research, so you can go for the research in the foreign research BTP or foreign research internship too. So the
Okay.
seniors will help you do that. So all the
Okay.
facilities like a startup, placement, or research,
So
all the
all
facilities.
the facilities that a student can imagine about is there. Okay. Now let's talk about your favorite professor. Who is your favorite professor, and what is that you really like about him or her?
Basically, in the colleges, it is not working like you have a favorite professor or something.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, like most of the college students prefer not to go to the classes. But there is one certain teacher in electrical engineering, Mr. Pramod Agrawal, Dr. Pramod Agrawal. He's like very experienced teacher in electrical engineering. I do prefer to go to his classes. So he's my, you can say, my
Is
favorite.
your favorite? Okay. Now tell us about some student clubs or association on campus.
They were. the best part of the campus is it's a students club. Like you have
Okay.
cultural clubs, technical clubs all around the campus.
Mm-hmm.
The cultural include all the things you can imagine: dance, drama, singing, music, etc. And for the technical ones, there are like hacking groups, software development groups, robotics
Mm-hmm.
group, electrical vehicles group, etc. So all the things are here.
Okay.
Apart
And
from
tell us
here,
about the clubs that you have enjoyed being a member of.
so I'm in the robotics club called
Mm-hmm.
Robocon.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to a competition for the robotics. They work really, really hard for an year. They just do robotics and do nothing apart from that. So
Okay.
the robotics culture inside Robocon like very, very good. You once you see their bots, you will get like a fan of them. So I was part of the robotics club.
Mm-hmm.
I took part in the competition called Debut Robocon held at IIT Delhi.
Okay. And other than being a part of these clubs and association, what all do students do for the entertainment purpose?
Uh, like we have laptops, internet facilities. You can imagine anything, movies, songs.
Okay.
There are sport facilities too. So most of the students, and there is one gym khana too, like very, very big and beautiful gym khana. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
students do exercises, play sports, football, tennis, table tennis. There's one students club too, which took care
Mm-hmm.
of the indoor games. So
Okay.
that's how we spend the time.
And also, would you like to talk about the student life that you have lived while you were preparing for a G exam versus the student life that you're living now? What is the main difference that you see?
In the J exam, I was like more of a studious. So I have to I have only two works: eat, sleep, and study and repeat. So that is the only schedule I followed in my 2 years of JEE preparation.
Okay.
Now in the college life, I did a lot of things like traveling, uh, studying. Apart from studying watching for news, politics, etc. Going through uh, lots of stuff, music, dancing. There are some fests too, which helps the to motivate the students in their, like you can say, soft skill, that improves our soft skills.
Okay.
So in the
So
college you will learn all this other stuff apart from study.
other than studying, okay. So life in college is now is more happening than what it was before.
Sure.
Let's talk about the internship opportunity at your university. How good is the internship opportunity?
So there was mandatory internship in my third year. Apart from that, you can do internship in first year, second year, third year also by
Okay.
applying directly to the company or the research institute.
Mm-hmm.
In the third year, companies came around summers. Uh, so there were like around 200 companies in the
Okay.
software, hardware, and many areas. Most of them were software, but
Mm-hmm.
hardware and other were too. So I got an internship from Qualcomm. I did a test and gave an interview and I passed.
Mm-hmm.
I got an offer from the Qualcomm. So my
Okay.
current internship is in Qualcomm as a
Okay.
hardware and engineer.
Okay.
Apart
And
from that,
hmm.
students do apply for the research like MyTechs and DART program. So
Mm-hmm.
they got selected. One or two of my friends got selected in MyTechs, DART, and one program in the Australia too. But
Okay.
because of this lockdown, they can't even move.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in terms of coursework, other than what you're studying at the university, do you think there would be any additional coursework that a student should do which increases the chances of getting a potential job or internship in your program?
Yeah, sure. We have like many additional courses apart from that
Mm-hmm.
college work. Even regular college work is not so good. The course structure in the college is very different from what I'm doing in my current internship. So the students
Okay.
learn many things apart from that coursework.
Hmm.
It depends on his interest. Like if you're interested in software development, do course on software development. If you're interested in digital electronics and hardware, you have to go to the VLSI type. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're interested in machine learning, you have to do a course on machine learning. So the
Okay.
learning is totally based on yourself. Nothing that you can expect from the professors, like as in JEE.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now tell us about how easy is to get into research assistantship and teaching assistantship when you are a student in one of the IITs.
Assistance, if you mean to say like RA-ship or
Yeah, RAs and TAs. Yeah.
uh, like RA-ship works after the fourth year.
Okay,
So
only
my
after the
one,
fourth year. Okay.
because
And
I think we have to devote around 6 months or 1 year in a college or under a professor for doing the RA-ship.
okay.
So,
And other than being part of this university and doing your coursework and internship, do student also do some sort of on-campus or off-campus jobs for part-time?
yeah, sure. Many of the students did.
Uh,
In the designing and software development, if a project arrives, so
mm-hmm.
if they are interested, they can do,
Okay.
because
And
there is not very much load for the academics apart from exams.
okay.
It's
So
more
have you
time for
done
that.
any such part-time course which has benefited you, Sarthak, which you want to talk about?
Like part-time course, I did an internship in my second year too. In the like in this college too. It's called Design Innovation Center.
Mm-hmm.
I worked under professors too, and the most of my learning came from the that students club, like Robocon. I said earlier. So
Mm-hmm.
in the Robocon itself, I have to I have to do many. I have to learn various new things
Mm-hmm.
in our like microprocessors and inside theory. So that's my like learning work.
Okay. And tell us about the cost that a student incur while studying in IIT. So, did you take any student loan? And if yes, then from which bank and how was the process?
Uh, I did not take any loan. Like the fees works here, like if your family income is less than 5 lakhs, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
pay only 33% of the tuition fee. And if your family
Okay.
income is less than 1 lakh, you have to only pay for the hostel fee. And above
Okay.
5 lakh, you have to pay a whole thing. So I do
Okay.
not take a loan.
Okay. And tell us about the general routine life of a student in IIT. How many hours in a day or in a week do you spend studying, doing homework, projects, and assignment?
Yeah, for the mandatory assignments, we generally copy
Okay.
from the one called toppers. So and apart from that, we study for our interest only. Like if I'm doing electrical engineering, that's fine. But if I'm interested in VLSI, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll study the whole time the VLSI and study the electrical engineering in the last 10 days of my exams. So that's how the
Okay.
things work.
Okay. And I want you to rate the academic pressure and workload in your program on the scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest.
My department is quite chill, so I would rate 7 out of 10.
Okay. And how easy is to get an internship for a student in your program?
Uh, I said earlier that in the tier one college there is no lot for the internship and placement. If you are doing nothing at the college, you do like coding in the last few months, you'll get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
but in the electrical engineering, if you are going to the hardware part itself, so it is like a little bit not easy because
Mm-hmm.
companies for the hardware or electrical engineering did not come as much in the college. So you have to like
Mm-hmm.
apply in the outside the campus, off campus. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
follow the procedure and apply by yourself. You cannot depend on the college for that.
Okay. And now I want you to talk about the general environment inside the university, and also since you're living in the hostel, how is the hostel life?
Hostel life is like very awesome. You will totally ignore or you will not remember anything about the home once you are in the hostel.
Mm-hmm.
So there are friends like you go late night chai party at night. Uh, you woke up late in the morning. That's how the things work. You learn, and the exam time we have to like uh, we don't sleep at all. Maybe 1 hour or 2 hour in the whole day. So
Okay.
uh, like you have friends, you have parties, and apart from that, when you study in groups too. If I get to know anything,
Mm-hmm.
I can go to a friend and say, hey, can you help me with that? So that's, and even if the seniors are very helpful here, so you can go to any senior directly. You can call him, so he'll help you anytime.
Okay. So life in a nutshell is very happening. Okay. Now, let's talk about the tuition fee that you are incurring, Sarthak, in an year. What is the tuition fee plus the hostel fee and food and the cost that you incur on food and messing and the mess?
Uh, the hostel and mess fee for one semester, that is 30,000 around. So it's
Okay.
for 1 year it is around 60,000. And for the
Okay.
tuition fee for IIT Roorkee it is for around 1 lakh. So
Okay.
for a semester, so it's around 2 lakh and 60,000. But if
Okay.
you are like if you have a income less than 5 lakhs, you get 67% discount on the tuition.
Okay. And let's talk about your future plan. What is that you are planning to do in your future? Will you be on the hardware side or on the software side? And also, how does the career counselors help you to achieve what you want?
So like I'm doing my internship with the hardware itself, so I prefer to go to the hardware side only.
Mm-hmm.
I've not decided yet whether I have to take a placement or doing a research. But
Mm-hmm.
as of now, I'll take the placement if permit. If my internship work is good, maybe I'll get a PPO from that company too.
Okay.
So
Qualcomm,
yes,
right?
uh, and yes,
Yeah. Huh.
and one of most of the students took the placement as but some of them are like do startups and research work too.
Okay. And other than Qualcomm, would you like to name other companies that hire student from your department in specific?
Yes, there are like uh, Texas Instruments. This
Mm-hmm.
year Google Hardware came to Google
Okay.
Hardware, hmm, and Texas Instruments and Bajaj Electronics, uh, Western Digital, etc.
Okay. And
Jaguar for the electric vehicles.
okay. And what is the percentage of placement in your program? And also, what is the annual package that is offered to a student in your program once they get into a job?
Uh, like all the packages are quite similar for the software as well as long as the company is good. Around 20 to 25 lakh per annum they offer.
Okay.
Um,
And now let's come to our next question. I would like you to advise the future student what they must do in order to crack the GMAIN exams.
uh, First, I would like to add in your last question
Mm-hmm.
that your motivation to come to the JE must not be seeing the final package. Like when
Okay.
we are outside the college, the only
Mm-hmm.
thing matters to us is going to an IIT will get you a higher package. That is not the thing, sir. So you should not anyone should not think of going into IIT and thinking of a higher package.
Mm-hmm.
You should be thinking of a better work than a higher package. Like most of the students left their job for a higher package and did work in the startups to learn more new things,
Okay.
because you will get to know more in the startup than a normal company.
Okay.
So no. So
And
coming to your question,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
that's what I was like. Now, tell us the advice that you want to give that they must do if they need to
sorry.
crack the exam.
Ah, uh, if they need to crack the exam, just make love with the physics, chemistry, and maths. That's the only thing. Do study, do practice a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure your concepts are clear. Give more time if your
Mm-hmm.
concept is not clear. Then not
Okay.
racing. Don't compete yourself with others. Do take your time and do take your time to study.
Okay.
Then only
And
you will be able to follow.
okay, now I want to know if you have, if as a student when you were preparing for IIT exam, did you made any mistake which you regret and which you don't want the future student to make while they're preparing for this exams?
There are many mistakes, but when your final result is good, like you ignore the mistakes. So like sometimes maybe spend a lot of my time watching television, or maybe for a week or 2 or 3 days I could not study a single word.
Mm-hmm.
I So that's maybe some of the but that is okay. Like you once your mood is fresh.
Okay, but a balanced approach would always be a better than,
Yes.
you maybe you were capable enough to do it, but the other student might not be able to, take care of the backlog that has, got piled up. Okay, Sarthak, this was really helpful. And I want to tell our viewers that Sarthak would be one of the expert on our platform. And you can connect with him and message him in case if you have any questions. And along with Sarthak, there are other experts too who would be helping you with your questions as and when needed. So thank you so much, Sarthak, again. And stay safe. And I really appreciate your time. You have a good day.
Thank, thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Stay
Bye
safe.
bye.
You stay safe too.
Yeah.
Bye.